должно произойти, что должно получиться, и поэтому огромное количество противодействий всевозможных, и сложности, конечно, невероятные. Ну, насколько я знаю русскую историю, попыток создания правового государства демократического было достаточно много, но все они, как правило, заканчивались провалом.
Я хочу быть оптимистом, очень хочу быть, потому что я хочу иметь надежду, веру, потому что человек без веры в будущее – это уже человек, который не живет. Поэтому я могу сказать, что я, наверное, оптимист. Наверное, оптимист. Хочу быть.
Tonight on 2, A Picture of Health. A three-part look at the nation's health begins before the NHS.
There was no fixed fee. You know, you got to pay. So you say, well, I haven't got no money. What are you going to do to me? So you say, I'll give you £5. You know, the lady I'm going to say, that's all you could afford, £5. Okay, you know, that was the fee. But if you was well off, you paid more, you know. It was according to what you was.
For a child to have a tooth out at the dentist would be £1. And for a man, it would be 2 and 6 with no anaesthetic. So there was an old cobbler, and Sunday morning he used to pull teeth out.
I think people went to work very ill at times because they couldn't afford to stop home.
Can you afford the doctor? Part 1 of A Picture of Health. Tonight at 9:30 on 2.
Now, on 2, we reach the last in the series in which Sir Lawrence Gowing explores the work of great painters. Tonight, he focuses on the achievements of Henri Matisse.
The value of modern art is to one exceptional person, the artist. It was something he couldn't do without. He molded it to suit himself. The fulfillment is infectious. It grows on us, and we come to need it too. Before this brilliant individual has finished with it, it fills his need, and it fills our need, splendidly, radiantly, as likely as not. The people who become great painters are those who detect something in the art of painting that no one else has seen. The old masters offered us a view of life. Modern art is different. With a modern painter, we know from the beginning that what is on offer has to do with art. But are we sure that this life work stands for the same ideal, under the same sacred star, as the striving through the centuries to realize in paint the experience of our world and ourselves? Matisse was the man who led the first revolution in the art of the 20th century, which seemed so irrational and earned modern painting a name for wildness. Les fauves, the wild animals. This portrait of his wife, loaded with colour and pattern, was a totem and a foretaste. Henri Matisse, who came from the business-like North, was by nature persevering and careful. At 20, he was a solicitor's clerk in a provincial town northeast of Paris. He later remembered being bored and flustered by the things people were always telling him to do. The only exceptional thing about him was that he was ill for a year. His mother gave him a box of paints to occupy him in his convalescence, and they evidently set him free. He was intelligently and conventionally trained as a painter, but the pictures he produced at the age of 28 show that it was modern art which excited him. He'd noticed an element like reckless dappling that made him long, as he said, for the bright colours that stir the sensual heart of man. A picture painted on his honeymoon shows what he meant. His wife was pregnant, and responsibility always found Matisse a prey to anxiety. Yet painting at her bedside, he still chose colour that was bright for brightness' sake. The father-to-be was sustained by the delightful surprises that colour could spring on the eye. The still lives that he painted in the next year or two were provoked into colours that he couldn't have seen. Half-invented marks of orange, green and violet stippled and cancelled one another. This is an impossible dream of colour richness. The industrious apprentice was astonished and aghast at what he did in this chaotic mood. The still life with oranges that grew out of his honeymoon pictures was a system of deliberately designed correspondences. Differences of light and dark were bridged and sublimated in colour. The local colour of the fruit was akin to the colour of light filtering through the curtains, and also to the golden colour of reflections, a colour as bright and light as the light itself. Matisse had discovered that a bright local colour in shadow will inspire as pictorially real a patch as full light on neutral ground beside it. Turgid description was washed away. The fruit turned into orange discs and yellow crescents. Only a few of the materials of the world are light and bright enough to serve. Oranges and flowers will do it. So, best of all, will flesh. These were the materials like talismans with which Matisse wove his spell over and over again all his life. In 1905, his way became clear to him in the southern light of a little fishing village called Collioure. The bell tower of Notre-Dame des Anges is the resolute centre